We are going to teach a swap cue today. So benefits of swap. So we're out and about walking our dog and they've maybe come across something, they've picked something up in their mouth. And so instead of struggling to pry their mouth open and get that thing out of their mouth, we can cue a swap. Okay, so they'll release the item and then we can reward that behavior. Then think about dogs interacting with maybe some inappropriate items around the house. So they're, chewing on things they're not supposed to. They've decided that one of your shoes is now a play toy. Okay, maybe they're destroying, ripping something up. Okay, so we can cue a swap. And then redirect them, show them what they can chew. Okay, so give them something appropriate that they can chew on. Teaching a swap is also really beneficial when we're playing with our dogs. So some dogs, when they're playing with toys with us, maybe the game, kind of gets a bit full on. There's a bit too much arousal there, and we need to kind of calm them down a bit and teach them to, play the game in a fun way, but a safe way. Maybe they struggle to release that toy, okay? So we can add a swap cue into a play session to make sure that the game stays, nice and safe and fun for everyone. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to teach the dog initially what swap means, okay? So swap means that food appears and it's going to be scattered on the floor, okay? So we call this a mutually exclusive behavior. You can't have something inappropriate in your mouth while also, hoovering up food that's been scattered on the floor. All right, so let's watch a video of how we might start teaching that.
Swap! Swap! Swap!
Next, we are going to practice the swap with an item of low value. So this is going to be different for different dogs. So there's going to be some items around the house that are high value or out and about to your dog. So don't start with those. Start with things of low value. The dog kind of shows some interest in, but they're going to be able to perform the behavior. We're setting them up for success. Okay, so let's have a look how we start this one.
Swap! Good girl.
Okay, so now what we're going to do, and this is important whether we do it really gradually. So we've had a low value item, then continue to work with other low value items, build it up. So then it's maybe kind of medium level items. Again, depends on your dog, right? What they find really interesting. Okay, so only then, once you've got success there, they're able to move away from the item, drop the item, and move towards you for that scatter feed. Once they're really good with that, with their swap cue, we can then start practicing it with the higher value items. But really make sure they're fluent with that foundation first.
Swap! Good girl. Well done, honey. Come on. Good job.
As we mentioned, it can be a really nice one to introduce during a play session with your dog. We're keeping the game fun, but we're also making sure everyone's safe. So what we can do is that we can play with the dog. So you might have a little tuggy toy out. So you're going to play with your dog, cue the swap, then a food scatter. Okay, and then it doesn't mean the game stops. Once they've finished the food scatter, by all means, if you and your dog are ready, you can start the game of tug again. Okay, so really nice way to kind of manage arousal and make sure that the game is being played appropriately. So let's have a look at this one.
Sit. Get. Swap. Yes. Ready. Get it. Good job.
Now we can also do the two toy game. So this one, instead of using food, and you will find some dogs that toys are so valuable to them that they may not actually swap initially for food. So we can get them to swap, but we can kind of go between two toys. So the steps, you're going to play with your dog. Then the first toy becomes still, so it's not as much fun anymore. They're not getting to do the real chasey kind of behavior with it anymore, okay? So first toy, it becomes still in your hand. You then cue the swap. The second toy appears and comes to life. Okay, so that's more enticing. Okay, so the dog is going to swap. So they're going to release that first toy and then they get to move and then play with that second toy. And again, play with your dog. So this is going to be a really nice one, again, to make sure that the kind of game is being played appropriately. So let's have a look.
Good job. Lando, swap. Good boy.
So hopefully that gives you some ideas about using your swap. So when you are out and about with your dogs, you know, maybe they've picked up something they're not supposed to, we can jump in and use the training there. Maybe it's for things around the house, okay, that they're kind of, that they're not supposed to put in their mouth. And absolutely think about how you can have really fun training sessions with your dogs, but keeping it safe by using those swap cues. All right, happy training.